Hello everyone, I'm Lee. I'm an international student from China. I'm studying MBA in CED in Capital University, and this video is recorded for MBAC6125 for Dr. Jacqueline Scott. The earliest of writing that Christian mentioned the term disruptive innovation, and he explained that he called disruptive innovation is that in an industry and there have lots of incumbent companies, and they think that they already dominated the industry, so they don't care about the low-end customer, and they already get a popularity in the mainstream customer. So what they want is to get the market share from the high-end customers. So their strategy is focused on how to attract the high-end customer. And during those periods, that some new companies and new entrants, they enter to this industry, and they can apply some redesigned technology to reduce their operational cost. So that way they can offer some cheaper product to customer and attract the low-end customer, because those customers are underserved by the incumbent company. So those new entrants get the market share from the low-end customer and then attract the mainstream customer. Gradually, they get the popularity in the mainstream customer. Then formed a direct competition between the new entrants and the incumbent company. This is what we call the disruptive innovation. And most of the time, what we think that the disruptive innovation is come to industry to replace the incumbent company. When we get the definition of the disruptive innovation, what I get the next question is that whether the fintech is a disruptive innovation for financial sector, and then that's a very hard question for me, because it really depends on your definition of the disruptive innovation. Because if you think that in Christian's definition that disruptive innovation is a company entered to industry to replace the incumbent company, to this point of view, I don't think that fintech is a disruptive innovation. But if we consider another example, Christian mentioned disruptive innovation, for example, when Japanese auto manufacturing entered to America, those giant American auto manufacturing corporations, they don't pay attention to those customers who cannot afford for their car. So they think that the Japanese auto manufacturers are not a threat for their business. So they don't pay enough attention for this competition. So while a Japanese auto manufacturer enter to America, and then they provide some cheaper product to American people. So they attract lots of people who want to buy a cheaper car instead of to buy a very high-end fancy Ford. So to this point of view, if we regard the Japanese auto manufacturer as a disruptive innovation for the traditional automobile industry, and I would like to say that fintech is a disruptive innovation for financial sector. Even it's very hard for fintech companies to replace the commercial bank and the other financial institutions, but it is that the fintech companies disrupted this industry, and they changed the business model for the traditional banks, for the traditional financial institutions. That's the point I think that fintech is a disruptive innovation. There are plenty of services that are provided by fintech companies, such as payment, investing, lending. The case I studied is Lending Club Corporation, which is a public traded company in United States. What the company's operation is that the company trying to match the borrowers and the investors directly, and then the company charges some agency fees for the matching activities. So that is the main operation of the company. Lending Club Corporation, founded in 2006, launched their first product in 2007 and went to public in 2014. And currently, that Lending Club gained the biggest market share in P2P online lending in the United States. Now there are only 2 companies that provide online P2P lending service in the United States, that are Lending Club and Prosper Marketplace. What I think that lending club offer is that lending club offer opportunities for people because there have lots of people they cannot get enough funds from traditional banks. So what they can do is actually they can apply a loan through this P2P online lending platform, and especially very important for medium and small size enterprises. If they cannot get a fund from the traditional banks, they can actually get funds from through this platform and use those funds to operate their business. As we know that small and medium-sized enterprises are very important for economy. So what I think that the lending club or P2P online lending actually benefit the whole economy of the society. The strength is of the company that the company have highest market share in this industry, and also according to some survey, the company has highest customer satisfaction in compared with the competitors. The company can apply some sophisticated technology to assess the risk of the customers. The internal weakness of the company include that the company have negative income, which caused the poor performance of the stock in the stock exchange, and also the 2016 lending club scandal can ruin the company's reputation. There is a consideration about the stability of the company's platform because there are lots of customers' information in the system, so that can be a consideration for the weakness of the company. Opportunities part that we know. There are increasing resentment from the society to traditional banks. Currently, this is what we call the shared economy era or network effect. The company's operation can actually avoiding that the high-rated customer to offset the low-rated borrowers. And the company can increase the cooperation between the company and independent financial advisors. Use those resources actually to serve the customer. For the threat part, that we can never predict what will happen in the regulation or laws in the United States. As we know that Donald Trump win, everything could happen, so maybe that could become a factor. And also, the business model of P2P online lending is very easy to replicate. This industry is very easy for new entrants to enter. So this is another threat for the company as well. And even the company has sophisticated technology to assess the default risk of the customer, but you can never control what will happen in the future. So the default rate could become another threat for the company. We know the interest rate, the fluctuation of the interest rate that can affect the operation of the company. Because if the traditional bank or commercial banks reduce the interest rate, maybe lots of borrowers will went to the commercial banks instead of this platform. Porter's competitive force model indicated the competitiveness of this industry, and for the threat of new entrants, because this industry is very easy for companies to enter, and also the business model of existing companies is very easy to replicate. So this is a threat for the company. But when we consider that this industry really rely on the market share and the reputation of the company, and I think that even it's very easy for a company to enter to replicate the business model, but the threat of new entrants is not a very big deal for the company. Another factor is that the bargaining power from the suppliers, and because the company offer very high investment return, so this could be attraction for the investors. So supply powers are not very strong, but for the buyer's power, is same reason that the company offer a very low interest rate compared with the commercial banks. So I don't think that the buyer's bargaining power is very strong. Well, but for the competitive rivalry, that because the company are not only to compete with the other P2P online platform, but the company also needed to compete with the commercial banks and other financial institutions. So the rivalry force of this industry is very strong. For the threat of substitution part, there have lots of companies offer lending services to customers, and the commercial bank also offer lending services to customers, and they're like Prosper Market also offers same products as the Lending Club Corporation. So the threat of substitution are very strong in this industry. The problem identified from this case there are several problems for the lending club corporation, such as the very unsuitable governance structure, but it's very hard for a company to correct that because it's kind of business culture in America that is one-tier corporate structure. And also the company have negative net income. That's a big problem for the company. But in this video, I only want to focus on the problems of negative net income. So what I think that a company should do is that the company should find a way to expand its business. What I mean to expand its business not only means expanding the marketplace, such as the company could expand it to like in Canada as well. So this is maybe a part of the expanding its market, but I also want to say the company could expand its operation. So what if the company can include some other financial services in its platform, such as the company could offer payment services or some other fintech companies offer the services to combine with the existing services. That could be a big opportunity for a company. So what I recommend to the company and for the negative net income part is that the company could actually try to improve the financial performance, reduce cut the cost as well. But I think expanding the market could be a very big opportunity for the company, and the management of the company should focus on how can I expand my business, how can I expand my market, and how can I expand my operation, such as how can I can acquire some some fintech startups which offer payment service or some company that offer another financial service. And the company also can cooperate with the other independent financial advisors, other advisors for the platform for the customer. So when borrowers went to the platform, want to apply for some loan, and those financial advisors could provide some advice or some suggestions for the customer. So actually this is kind of mutual benefit for the company as well as the independent financial advisor. And also the company could like to cooperate with the other fintech companies. I found out that the company had purchased lots of borrowers loan and lots of investors lending as well. So maybe the company could reduce the purchase of those parts because it will cost lots of money. And if the company cannot sell the loan, and the company will actually hold the loan, so that will be a lot of expenses for the company.